Hello guys, welcome back to another twisted video. And do you want to get tornadoes like this?
I have time to put one probe out right now. Winds have died down quite a bit, so I think it is weakening. But dude, this is a huge barrel.
If you want to get tornadoes like this, well then this is the right video for you. In this video I will be teaching you the best thermos for getting barrels and huge violent tornadoes, along with some additional tips on how to get wider tornadoes, stronger tornadoes, and etc. And with that, let's get into it. So for the first tip, thermodynamics. Thermodynamics are what feed the tornado. So for example, we have temperature, which represents the amount of heat in the atmosphere. High temperature provides warm air to fuel the updraft of developing supercells. And then next we have cape, which is very good for strong tornadoes. The higher the cape, the stronger the tornado in most situations. If you have high cape on a slight risk or an enhanced risk or a moderate risk, most of the time it is not going to do much. Cape or connective available potential energy is a measure that indicates the amount of energy in the atmosphere available to developing storms. High levels of cape allow for storms to intensify and potentially produce a tornado. Next, we have 0 through 3 kilometer lapse rates. Lapse rates describes the rate at which the temperature decreases relative to height. Higher lapse rates usually mean better storm growth, more lightning, and larger hail. These two don't really matter. And then we have a few on this side I will get into. We're not going to be getting into this. So we have dew point. The dew point is the temperature at which air becomes saturated with moisture. Higher dew points mean more moisture in the air, crucial for storm formation. SRH, storm relative helicity, representing how much the air within a storm is spinning compared to hang on, I got lost. Compared to how much the storm is moving overall, higher SRH values are the main driving force behind strong tornadoes as it represents strong rotation. Now, did, did a tornado just touch down on top of me? Okay, pause. The main things I look out for is STP and VTP in the hodograph. So, for getting violent tornadoes such as 200 pluses, 300 pluses, you're going to need very high STP. The higher, the better. And VTP, that's also going to need to be pretty high. So for a minimum risk on getting just strong tornadoes over 200 miles per hour, I recommend at least a 6-1. For getting violent tornadoes, I like violent. I mean 250 plus. You're going to need probably at least an 8-2, 9-2 risk. Although I have seen a 14-4 that did not produce anything good. And with that, we will move on to the next tip. The next tip, how do you get big tornadoes? So, to get big tornadoes in Twisted, there are a few things I look out for. So first, if you're going to get big tornadoes, you're going to want those big tornadoes to actually stay on the ground for a long time, which is why you're going to want high cape and high SRH combined. But what I've found the best for getting large tornadoes is 700 through 500 millibar RH. I found that every time the 700 through 500 millibar RH is above 50%, I usually tend to get larger tornadoes more frequently, which is why I tend to look out for that. And there is one more, I'm pretty sure. Dew point also assists in this. Surface RH and PWatt, that's just the amount of rain. That will not help. And with that, we will move on to the next tip. So, for the third tip, how are you going to record these insane winds? So, to record these insane winds, there's something in this game called probes, which is amazing at this. So, we'll go ahead and spawn this vehicle in, for example. And the probe you're going to want to use for this is going to be where is it? The HITPR instrument probe, as it is the most durable probe in Twisted and can survive very high wind speeds for a long amount of time. And if you want to record video while you are intercepting, you can go with the HITPR video probe. With that, move on to the fourth tip. Some may ask, what is the best vehicle for chasing these violent risks, such as 9.2s, 10.3s, and my personal favorite, other than interceptors, is going to have to go to the. Hang on, give me a second to find it. It's not this one. It is going to go to the Vortex 2 probe truck, as this vehicle can hold 4 probes. Now, if you fill these probes with HITPR instrument probes, you can easily probe the tornado multiple times as it's getting strong without having to worry about running out of probes and buying new ones. So once that tornado is over, you can just go back and collect all your probes. There's another reason this vehicle is my favorite. It's high top speed, which we will go ahead and get into. I believe it can go around 110 miles per hour. We will go ahead and see. Yep, 110 miles per hour, which makes it ideal for getting out of those rough conditions. This one also has some built-in strobes. And if you don't have that much money, another good vehicle to use would be the Scout. It is pretty much the same as this with about negative 10 off the top speed. Although this one still does have strobes and the same probe capacity. And oh, this one's actually faster than the Vortex 2 probe truck. Okay, well, this one may actually be better. And with that, we will move on to the final tip. The final tip is going to be intercepting these monsters. You're going to need a very strong vehicle if you want to ride out the storm. You're going to need something such as the Dominator 3 or the Tiv 2. No Dom 1 or Dom 2 or Tiv 1 is going to be cutting it. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. These tornadoes are most likely going to be pretty big tornadoes if you follow the tip that I gave you. So, which means they're going to be pretty easy to tell which way they are going. So, once you notice that it is coming towards you, you will go ahead and deploy the vehicle, deploy your probes. If it is too strong, you're going to want to get out of there. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. And that concludes our 5 tips on how to get violent and big tornadoes in Twisted 1.21. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.